Okay, we're hanging out here with Omar and Cedric from the Mars Volta, and they just got through playing a gig here at the living room. And just kind of, if you guys could just bring us up to speed on where you've been over the last year and a half, almost 2 years.
We've just been at home really trying to get our new record together, trying to write it, try to work out new member changes and stuff like that, and working with Rick Rubin and stuff like that. So that's what we've been doing.
And then we toured the States and Europe and Japan, and we put out an EP on my label and stuff. So we've just been working since, yeah.
So you just threw out Rick Rubin. Is Rick Rubin going to be behind the board when the big LP comes out?
Yeah, definitely.
And where are you going to be slated to record this?
The house
The house up Laurel Canyon, this old haunted house that he owns.
The Blood Sugar Sex Magic house.
And I just found out recently you guys are going to be doing a tour with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Could you let us know a little bit how that came to be?
I'm good friends with John, and those guys have always, Anthony and John and Flea have come to our shows, and it's just been, we've exchanged a lot of ideas and we practice at the same place, and it's just something we always threw around, and we've been having different schedules. They just put out a record and we've been working on one, and now that we're actually going to record it, it just made sense. And they were going to be in Europe, so it just finally worked itself out.
So prior to this incarnation, I mean, you guys were pretty much in a band that was pretty much known as a touring band. You guys were pretty much on the road constantly for a number of years. Mm-hmm. That's not the case currently. How does that feel to have this time that you've had, like, over the last year and a half, to kind of decompress and do what you've been doing?
I think it feels very liberating right now because, we've been wanting to do this for a while, and that's when we're, I think, at our best, at our, performance-wise, is when we've been revving for about a couple of weeks, and I think that's the only way we know how to function sometimes, So for me, it's kind of weird getting back into things. I really don't go out that much, so. Mm-hmm. But when I do. But we're so used to this, and being in the van for 5 hours and shit like that. So
now when the record comes out, we'll probably have a more consistent touring schedule. Although I don't think we'll tour as vigorously as we did with At the Drive-In, So.
Because I think that's one thing that did probably kill us in the end was that. The relentless touring. I mean, it shouldn't have gone on as much as it did. We got to a point where we didn't have to do that, but some people wanted to, we didn't want to. Right. So now we're at a point where we can do it at our own pace. Maybe 3 months on or 3 months off or something, a month on, month off, something like that. Something that keeps your fucking sanity. Yeah.
Keeps us balanced.
So you guys have also been laying low since Coachella, pretty much. What is it about the Golden Voice festivals that brings you guys out?
They're nice people. They're so really fucking cool with us.
And it's just, again, all of it has just been a matter of timing and things working out, It just happened to be that right around the St. No picnic, we knew as far as the schedule we had set for ourselves that we would be done with pre-production and we would be about to go into the studio. So it just seemed like the right thing to do, to go in and record after a string of shows. It's something that we never had the opportunity to do. And At the Drive-In, we wrote songs, we recorded them, and then we figured out how to play them live. And now we're able to throw around ideas and change vocal parts, change drum parts, and make a record that we'll truly be happy with, hopefully.
I'll just ask a couple more questions. I'll let you guys go, but just real quickly, I mean, obviously you guys, we know you're from At the Drive-In, and John, you guys met at he said in Texas at a show. Can you just give us a rundown on the other members of the band, and how you came to meet them and got involved playing music with them?
Ralph Hasso, we've played with a number of bands with him. He's like an old friend from El Paso, so we've known him for a long time. Linda.
We got turned on to Linda by Tom Waits' keyboard player, Danny Magoo. Who we were searching for a different type of keyboard player, and he suggested her to us, and John, our drummer, we've known just from we're big fans of the other band he's in called Golden, and so we've kind of same thing connected over the years.
Was that keyboard element something you're really trying to incorporate into your sound?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've always been fans of it. We wanted it to come across more than just new wave shticky sampling and one key, button pushing. We really wanted, it almost sometimes serves as like a rhythm guitar sometimes, but then it also does lead stuff as well. But I think it's a different texture to deal with.
And it's such a different emotion too. What something like an organ can provide, it just reaches these crazy decibels that guitars or voice can't, and and it brings out a lot of strange emotions in people. So it's, you know, there's so much music that we love that uses keyboards or organs or just, you know, really great sounds.
Actually, I noticed tonight that you played through an Ampeg SVT. Is that something you've always played with, or is that kind of a new thing?
With this band, it is. With this band,
And your bass player is playing through a Marshall
yeah,
guitar cab.
yeah, that's what he likes.
How did that idea come into fruition?
I've just always thought that guitar amps just always sounded thin to me for some reason. The best thing I ever played was probably out of an Orange, and it still sounded thin to me. And when I realized that bass heads have 300 watts, and you know, it just seems like there's more of a range also, you know, because there's all these different frequencies that goes into someone thinking about a bass, you know, and you could still, since I usually play like an old 70s one, but it's broken down right now, which is why I have that reissue, and you know, you could still get it to break up, you know, and you could still tweak the treble on it so it doesn't sound like a bass amp, and it just feels more powerful.
So finally, you know, you're gonna go into the studio with Rick Rubin at some point. Is the full album gonna come out on Gold Standard, or are you gonna try to get back involved with the major label again? And when in fact do you think might it see the shelves?
We have signed to a Universal, and the release will be split GSL/Universal. It's actually
joint venture.
Yeah,
so it'll still be on our label, and you know, they're funding it and they're distributing it, but it'll still be GSL. And I guess spring.
Yeah.
I guess it's springtime.
And we've been working with Rick for the past month now. So
2 months. Almost.
Yeah.
2 months.
That's Jeremy Ward. Yeah, Jeremy Ward. He handles samples and vocal effects, and you know, all morale, and he's
chaos.
Yeah. He's perfect.
All right, guys, I want to thank you for spending some time with us, and you know, maybe we'll see you around at some shows.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right on.